Ho, ho, ho.
Whore.
Hello. Today, me, Pestilence, Queen. That's me. I'm going to be talking about some stuff that I got, a topic that I got from one of my friends that I very aggressively pressured into giving me a topic within 30 seconds, or else I'd kill their fucking family. And this is like the first video I've done of this. But I think the topic ended up being somewhat timely with the release of Cyberpunk and 2077 fucking bugs. Because, you see, the topic is steampunk, which is a genre that has been adapted, in various degrees. You have, like, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is not very steampunk. I don't even think anything about it was really steampunk. It had steam in it, I guess, but that was more happenstantial of the era it was in, rather than it being steampunk to any degree. And then you have movie adaptations such as the Wild Wild West, which was of course a fantastic movie that was very great. It had Will Smith in it, and Will Smith is never in anything bad.
Yeah.
But with that being said, unfortunately, I have to say, steampunk, not a very good genre. I'll try to make sense of this, but basically, let's talk about cyberpunk for context. You see, cyberpunk, the genre, not the game, is a genre that's pretty set in stone of what it is, what constitutes the bare minimum of what is cyberpunk, which is basically really grim, dark architecture with a totalitarian kind of dystopian government and neon. Lots of neon, even if it doesn't make sense. It's also typically set in the future, but I don't really think that's super important. Most of the time it almost feels like it's completely separate reality, which, you know, I guess is not what they're trying to say, but it kind of comes off that way. Mostly because the dystopian governments in these cyberpunk stories are usually much better than the real one that we're currently in. But that's getting off topic. Point is, cyberpunk is definable. It's so definable that they made a whole game about it that barely functions, and it also has Keanu Reeves in it. Steampunk, on the other hand, could mean a lot of things. It could be Western, it could be Victorian London, it could just be completely separate, and that is usually a good thing. A genre should probably be a bit diversified. After all, not every horror is made the same. Some horrors are Saw, and other horrors are like Hereditary. However, I think steampunk is just too broad. I mean, what is steampunk? Because to me, it seems as though it's some sort of mechanical thing rather than a setting. That's why it's so easy to make a cyberpunk game, because all you have to do is make a bunch of dark buildings and then add neon lights to the ends of them, and boom, you have a cyberpunk game. Like Ghost Runner, for example. That's basically all it is, totalitarian government and all. But steampunk to me seems very difficult to define in any particular way. You see, steampunk is a genre that is about, more or less, steam-powered products that are kind of futuristic, definitely past anything steam could actually produce, but it does produce it. And it's about a lot of gears and stuff like that, and kind of obtuse design. It is basically modern day stuff, but like rustic and, you know, shitty. But what is there even really to make of that? Because steampunk weapons aren't particularly good. At least I don't think. And that's probably why it's never been adapted into anything big, such as cyberpunk. I mean, in a lot of ways, Blade Runner is kind of like a cyberpunk movie. That's probably wrong, but you get what I mean, right? Steampunk just isn't that way. And outside of the amazing Wild Wild West, which was a great movie with Will Smith in it, he's never in bad movies, guys. He's never in bad movies. He was he was an after, guys. Come on. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think. Thank you to my friend who gave me the topic for this video. As useless as it was, I very much appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a good Christmas, because I talked about steampunk for no fucking reason. So just to bring it back to holiday stuff, I think what you should do, just put on a movie, something nice, Arthur Christmas maybe, very good movie, very underrated. You should go watch Arthur Christmas. Or, Krampus, because that movie's funny. Cozy up next to, like the fireplace. Just kind of squeeze in there. Realize that you're going to die alone, most likely. Realize that life is basically meaningless. And since most things are sold out this year because of COVID, you're probably not going to get anything. And also, everyone hated you anyway. Have a Merry Christmas. From me to you. Pestilence Queen.